there's a lot of people who are suffering from problems that can actually be fixed by just fixing an identity. So that's the reason why we do this. So welcome on board. I hope that you can actually learn something new today. I hope you can bring your story on board, and we can actually start helping you to fix your identities. And through that, all these fears, doubts, worry, concerns, insecurities, anger will disappear. And that's our intention. Our intention is to make sure that we relieve you of the things that we have control over, so that when you start your journey of health and fixing your physical health, your identity is actually in check. So I'm excited to have you here. I hope that tonight will be another interesting one. So you can actually start requesting to be in and tell us, why are you angry? Why do you have insecurities? Why do you feel incomplete and you think other people are going to make you complete? Okay, most of us chase those things. We chase thrills, and that's actually the topic for the night. Chasing thrills. I would have called them evil thrills, but most of us chase thrills. We think that when we get money, we'll be comfortable, we'll be complete. We get the money, we are still feeling empty. We chase family, we chase love, we chase marriage. We realize we have all these things, we chase a career, and then we have all these things, and immediately you have them, there's another thrill. And we have so many thrills that make you get into fear, thrills that make you find love, you're finding love, thrills that make you think that you love your children and you're a very good father or a mother, thrills that make you feel like you're the new boss or you're a boss for people, thrills that actually make you think that you're the best, and that now you start thinking whatever you think is what you'll become, and you realize that's just the nature of evil. Thrills for sex, that's why we get addicted to sex and masturbation. Thrills to running a business successfully. You're thinking, if I do this, I'll be successful. You think, if I just venture into this business, I'll be the best business person ever. You venture into that business because it's your passion, another thrill. And then once you get into that business, all your resources are just swept off. And you start thinking, whoa. And now you go into a depressed mode. And then the hospitals, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, they do an analysis on you and they tell you, oh, you know what? Oh, you are depressed. You must be depressed. You lost your job? Yes, I lost my job. Oh, you lost a spouse? Yes. How about your children? My children resent me so badly. Oh, now I see. So now write a letter. Yeah? And go and throw it on the grave of your past spouse. Express yourself in that letter. Tell her or him how you felt about him when he was alive. And go and throw it on that grave. You will be fine. You do that. Oh, you come back and the same thing. You change a psychologist. You change a psychiatrist. You change a hospital. But what you're forgetting is that the evil nature and the evil spirit has built a home in you. So even if you run away, you're still carrying that evil spirit with you. And this is where we try to help you fix that evil spirit and evil nature in you. This is where we try to make you reconnect yourself with your own spiritual world and realities. This is where we make you live in the real reality, which is now. This is where we separate you from your own thoughts, because they are not your thoughts. They are what people put in your head. This is a home where we actually make sure that those thrills that you're constantly chasing have been shut down, so that you become conscious about life, because most of us are actually living unconsciously. We are neither in the present, we are neither in the future, we are neither in the past. So we are constantly chasing evil thrills that are all over, and we forget to be conscious about life. So this is a life that is going to show you that you really need this. And this life, ladies and gentlemen, this life is actually inspired by a question that came from one of my clients. One of my clients told me that the husband is tired, that all she does is give birth to girls. Why are you giving me girls all through? I know most of you know this story, right? You've heard of this story, that a man leaves a woman to just go and get another one, because this woman is actually constantly giving him girl child. Firstborn, girls. Secondborn, girls. Thirdborn, twins, girls. This is a curse. How can you give me twins that are girls? I wanted boys. Who will inherit my property? Who will take over my throne? Another stupid thrill. You're chasing a throne that you don't even have. You're chasing a career, a thrill to be successful, and the success, you don't even know how to define it. You're chasing family. You want to be the best family man. You're not. That's the devil trying to convince you, oh, you're the best, so that you feel good. The ego comes in. And then a minute later, he tells you, oh, you're the worst. Look at your daughters. They're now under the umbrella. And you become, why did I do this? Now you get a son. You've been telling this woman you want a son. And God works miraculously. You get that son. And then this son comes to resent you. He becomes a huge drug addict. Like, And now you start blaming the woman. You know what? This is from your side. Our side, we don't have any drug addiction. This must be from your side. So this life is inspired by that. And that's the reason why we have this. We want to tell you, men, that you are the carriers of the Y chromosome. So you cannot blame a woman for giving you girls. It is you who determines. And we'll tell you how you can actually manipulate this system to actually get a son if you want to. Because remember, there is one type of sperm or chromosome that travels faster than the other and gets tired quicker than the others. There's the one that comes in slowly and travels farther. So you'll know that through this life, okay? So we are here to actually help you overcome your thoughts. We are here to help you overcome those thrills, the fake thrills that you are going through, okay? So that you can lead a healthy and comfortable life, and all above it all, you live consciously. So I welcome every one of you here. I know it's a Friday. You would have taken time to do all other things. You would have taken time to be somewhere taking two for the road. You'd be somewhere watching a movie, which is so boring, but because it's Friday, you're there watching that movie. Therefore, I'll try to make this a movie and an interesting one, a comedy show in health, so that you can actually be here, okay? It's not easy to please you guys. But again, it's amazing that God has given me this power to make sure that I change your life for the better, and that's why you relate with our stories. So if you're not on YouTube, Health and Wellness Sport is the YouTube channel that you should be there. Thank you for actually subscribing on it, and we are going up every single day. As you join in, kindly tell us where you're watching us from, so that we can actually upload people from your neighborhood. We can actually tell you if we've been in your neighborhood, what we've done there, okay, and what actually made us fix our identity so that we can move out of your neighborhood. Welcome on board. People on YouTube, as you come in, kindly tell me if my sound is clear. So tonight is going to be interesting. This is a second episode of Identity Fridays. You will love it. And then we can bring you in, bring your conversation. I will tell you where your anger is coming from. I'll tell you why you are suffering from lack identity. I will tell you how to fix it. Okay, amazing. So let's say hi to some individuals here. I see Blessed Mommy is in the building. Doc, you're 1 in a million in the health industry. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Is truth in healthcare is rare. Sonny Bik, I see you. Thank you so much for the gifts. Already Katimi, I see you. I see H2O. Divine Health is in the building. Divine Health from South Africa. Do you have a brother who is a doctor, Francisca? No, I don't have a brother who is a doctor. I am the only doctor in that village. Imagine that. If the big pharma comes for me, I'm telling you, my people will demonstrate in Nairobi. Watu wanabeba makaratasi wewe until I resurrect. They will not tire. But the weird part is, when I resurrect, all of them will run away. Why do we cry in funerals? Why do people cry in funerals? Are you pretending? Because if this guy just wakes up from that coffin, all of you will be disappearing. I'm like, I thought you were missing me. Why are you running away? Kenyan working in Qatar, Blessed Mommy, I see you. I see Baringo County. Live from Baringo County Hospital. Night shift. Eat it. Welcome, bro. I am Ochieng. I see you, bro. In Baringo. There's a gentleman in Baringo. He's called Bernard Ondari. Dr. Bernard Ondari, a pharmacist. Say hi to that gentleman. Very good gentleman. Ruiru in the house. Mwanamke Milka, I see you. Winnie from Meru, I see you. I see Inasaid from Langata. Hey, man. I see Vincent is here. Rachel is also here. Mickey is in the building. Dr. Frank is here. I see someone from Kericho. 2 p.m. is Humble Queen. Daktari should. Daktari, we should not mourn. No, I'm not saying you should not mourn. I'm just saying, why do you pretend? Because you are crying that this person should come back. Mourning is okay. Mourning is fine. You can mourn. And I cannot even encourage you on how to mourn, because I know if you lose a loved one, it's very hard to come back. Somebody from Doha, I see you. Msomso, I see you. I see Elizabeth and Jerry watching from Sweden. Amazing. So yes, mourning is okay. Amos from Uganda, and Gong Massive is in the building. Mama too. From Kericho, Celebit, I see you. So mourning is not a problem. The problem is, why are you pretending? Because if this person who is actually dead, when he wakes up from that coffin, why do people run away? Why were you crying in the first place? Were you crying for them to come back, or were you crying for just for the sake of it? Some of you exaggerate even the mourning. Have you ever gone to Luhya, the Luhya burials or Luhya funerals? Or Luo funerals? Have you seen that? From Kisii, Becky, Kerry, I see you. I see Santiago. Niko ndani daktari. I see Twechi Mpe. I see Makadara is tuned in. Kenya Daima. Hey, amazing. Taita Taveta. Len, I see you. I see... Where are you from, Doc? I really want to see you. Hey, amazing. Hey, if you take a slight walk in Bunyoreland, or Musala, you will see me there, my friend. Anyway, we move on swiftly. LD is in the building. On YouTube, my people on YouTube, thank you so much for the support, my friend. We are at 33,000. 33,000 people. Man, you should take a seat and just clap for yourself. 33,000 people here, not for comedy, but for just health. Man, it's amazing. It's been an amazing year. I see Safis in the building, Immaculate Wanjiru from Embu. I see Nelly Kendi, Umoja 2 is tuned in. Rachel Lavender, I see you. I see Emma Chi. I see Wanapei Kape. Jen Muendo is in the building. Sarah Natongo from Uganda, I see you. I see Masi Opondo. Kabete. Njogu Kamunge. Hey, amazing. Jack Zulu. I see Adesu Awirais. Evening Doc, I need to my consistency back. Yes, identity will help you fix. Somebody from Lamu Island, Tesh Manyama. Mnyama, good one. Dorcas, I see you. Straight from TikTok, welcome on board. Priki, I see you. Charles Muridi. Jonas Bet. Mudoni Kariuki is in the building. Ambui Kimani, I see you from Southampton, United Kingdom. I see Nyambura Rose. I see her. My new thrill is meat and eggs. Hey, SNP Mavoko represented. Kula nyama. Alafu waambiwa wanitumie till number. I'll do my thing. I'll do my thing. Peter Mnakumi, I see you. Javan Leo, I see you. I see Margaret Ayigo. Eddie Owidi. Martha Njugi. Amazing. Loud and clear. Who else is here? Karenja Lugedi. Metaverse inclined. Kefa Moses from Lavington is in the building. Kefa, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for those referrals. I appreciate you, man. That's just a good thing, man. Liz Palo, most of you, when you just get an encounter with us, it's referral after referral, man. That's how people appreciate your work. You don't need to come over and over. No, just saying somebody, hey, I trust this gentleman. He has done his thing. I'm feeling better. I'm getting well. Please check him out, man. I salute, man. Salute you and Tito. Titus. Titus, man. You guys are just interesting, man. May God keep you safe. Healthy Foods is from Italy. Shifira. Shifira is here. Christine Mogaka. Melody Mudikwa. Blackman King. Kazungu Derek. Karanja Logedi. Jen Wanjiku. Aki. Wako ndani wote. Jeffries. Janet Chipkoech. Lilian Waruguru. Mungela Mutinda. Wangoi Gudui. Kategaya Jocelyn. Wilunda Kiilu Eve. Halima Hussein, Jen Wanjiku, and Jessica Nasanga. All of them, 83 of them, are here watching us and enjoying the content. Welcome on board. Identity Fridays. You can't miss out on these Identity Fridays. And we'll do them every single Friday until it sinks into your head. I've told you, this live is inspired by that gentleman who is running away from his wife because she's giving him only girl child. So this guy is tired of these girls. He wants a son because maybe in future he might stand for a political position and the politicians will ask him, where is your son? You don't have sons? I mean, you cannot talk in front of people if you don't have sons. You're chasing that thrill that is coming from politics. Jay Opande, I see you. You're in the building. Hello. This live is intended to help you overcome your evil nature that controls your thoughts and your feelings and emotions. And now you become this emotional person who cannot pass adequate judgment. You can't. When emotions come in, you become useless. Specifically men. Mwihoko is tuned in. Hey, Mwihoko, we are here. Lucy Kibui. Mwihoko. I love this. Amazing. Yeah. So yes, if you can start requesting. We can call you in, and then we can actually ask you a few questions. It's not a difficult thing. We just want to help you fix that anger. Why do you think you have this anger? Why do you overreact all the time? Why do you think you have OCD? Why do you think you sit in a corner and let somebody allow you to think and believe that you're depressed? This is a life for you. Tag somebody, like the live, share the live, and let's jump into it. So most issues that we have, they are not our own issues. No. They are just useless thoughts. And I told you, your greatest enemy is your own thoughts. Why? Because the devil uses that to control and manipulate you. The devil knows that he can actually excite you, he can actually depress you, but he cannot destroy you. So he actually makes sure that you are unstable in your own state. You keep on being in that fallen state, very unstable. When you're in that unstable state, that's how he survives. He doesn't want to die inside you. Of course, our parents, who are the first people to give us a false identity, are the ones that imposed this false identity into us. They imposed this false identity into us. They made us a mini image of them. They recreated us in their own image. That is not how God designed it. That is not how we like it. I wouldn't love being my mother. You wouldn't either. But she has remolded you into her own image because she's the one who introduced the first identity in you. And guess what? It was the role of the father to make sure that your identity remains. So the father was supposed to actually oversee what was happening. He was the one who was supposed to protect you against the emotions and the evil nature and the anger that was coming from the mother. Because when mothers or women are denied attention by the man, they tend to turn children against the man so that they can get their attention back. It is an innocent move. It is not them, so we cannot blame women. We know it is a spirit that is inside of them, and they have allowed that spirit to live in them, and that spirit controls them. Because whatever spirit that you harbor inside you reveals things to you, and you work or you do according to that spirit. So if you harbor an evil spirit inside you, you are very unstable, emotionally unstable. You give yourself these names. You see, a woman has or a man has an evil nature in them, and instead of fixing that evil nature, they give it a very beautiful name so that it can keep on living inside them. They say, I have OCD. I have ADHD. I overreact. So you give it a beautiful name so that you don't feel bad about yourself. That is the devil trying to control you. He's trying to tell you, please, tell them you have OCD. When you say you have OCD, people are like, oh, OCD. What is that? Tell them, you know what? I don't like things being messed up here. I'm this person who is a perfectionist. Another good name. I'm a perfectionist. All these things are not you. They are here. And somebody put those thoughts here. If you had a chance to make your own thoughts, you will never make negative thoughts. You will never hate people. You will never care. You will never feel inadequate. You will never look for love. You'll never look for thrills. You'll never think if somebody comes in to love you, they'll make you adequate because you are born adequate with your own identity. However, somebody subsided that identity by imposing the identity on you. That has to be your parents. And that's the reason why out here, most marriages, women are so angry. And the reason why women are so angry out here is because men have become feminine and very weak. So we have marriages that are full of very weak men, I call them males, and very angry women. Now they resent each other so badly, and as you resent each other, you become those that you resent. Now you become more evil. And guess what? The devil is constantly telling you, resent him. He's doing bad. You deserve better. He tells you that to make you feel good about yourself. Once you feel good, he comes in later to tell you, why are you doing this to yourself? Go back to that husband. Go back to that wife. Why are you chasing them away? He makes you feel guilty about taking a positive or a negative stand. He tells you this is positive and then tells you this is negative. So most of the times, even when you're making a prayer, most of us make a prayer from our thoughts. Oh, I want to be this. Oh, God, give me this. You're making a prayer from your thoughts. So you're actually making a prayer to your father, the devil. You have an identity, you have a scripture, and you have the kingdom of heaven inside you. You are your own world. So yes, you are in this world, but this is not your home. Your home is inside you. Whatever is happening in the world is none of your business. So you are in the world, but you're not of the world. But how would you know that if you don't have an identity? You can't. You'll constantly blame other people. You'll constantly seek favors. You'll constantly chase thrills. And when you get this thrill, there is another one that you need to chase. And that's why somebody came in and lied to you, the same devil, that you cannot satisfy human wants. You cannot satisfy. So somebody actually made you believe, like literally, I cannot satisfy human wants. So he actually or she actually made you think that you are inadequate. You cannot have enough. You can't have enough. So it is very intentional that somebody tells you, oh, you know what? Human wants, you cannot satisfy them. And now you believe, and when you believe, you actually become. So you cannot satisfy your wants. And you constantly seek a want. You get this job, is the best job that you ever wanted. You went for an interview for that job. And at that moment in time, you knew, if I get this job, this is the best thing that will have ever happened to me. You even made a prayer to the Father, the devil. You went down on your knees. He lied to you. Go down on your knees. Pray. And you prayed from your own thoughts because you wanted that job from your thoughts. Because you thought that if I get this job, I'll be comfortable. And then you feel good about it. You go for an interview, you perform well. He tells you, congratulations. You come back, you make a prayer to your father, devil, again. And apparently you get the job because you are off the world. You are in the world and again off the world. So you get that job. And you do that job. You see, look at you. You get a job today. Tomorrow you are at work at 7:30 and the requirement is come in at 8. At 7:30 you are at work. Oh, you're opening those files and making sure everything is in order. You're leaving at 6:30, even though you're supposed to leave at 5. Because you're this best person. You're so interested in this job, you've gotten it. You are running away from poverty, and now you found this job that is going to get you out of poverty. Oh man, they will know the beast in you. Oh, give them 2 weeks. 2 weeks after they've known people. They've become wenyeji. 2 weeks into that job. Oh, you are the first one to be late. Everybody's complaining, why are you late? Or give me some will push up to a year because they want to show an image. They want to create this image that they're the best employees. They're the best bosses. They want to interact with everybody, shaking hands with a very firm handshake, looking straight into people's eyes. And you're like, aye, ego. And it sets into you, oh, you know what? You're just a boss like any other. There's a bigger boss than you. Now you want the bigger posts. And as you want the bigger post, you start getting led into this job because this job is not enough for you. Yes, seeking validation. Thank you so much, Divine. So you're shaking people's hands and thinking, oh, you know, I studied a book that was talking about psychology. When you're shaking somebody's hand, you must look straight into their eyes. You shake, firm handshake, look straight into the eyes, shoulders down and chest up, and your neck straight. You're like, hey, I'm that guy. And then people are like, hey, habari yako daktari. Yeah, habari yako daktari. When we are called daktari, oh, I'm the best in the world. Imagine I save lives. Ego comes in and the devil is constantly telling you, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good. My son. And as you defend it, you're thinking that is God talking to you. No, he's coming from here. Okay? So when you feel a certain way, because when you believe things, you start feeling a certain way about them. And now you start overreacting to those feelings. When you overreact to those feelings, you're giving the devil a chance to actually manipulate you. So he knows here is the weakness. That's when the devil settles inside you. If you had a chance to make your own thoughts, you'll make the best thoughts. Why is it that 90% of your thoughts are just evil, are just negative? Why are you so worried? Why are you scared? Some of you selling me fear. You know, the big farmer will shoot you between the eyes. I'm like, let them shoot me. At that time, they're shooting me. That's the day I'll handle that. But now they've not shot me. Why are you selling me fear? Don't you know we knew God before we knew pharmaceutical companies? So we constantly chase these things, and it's crazy. By the way, I'm talking about things that you guys know. Imagine somebody has sat in a class for biology. Some of them are even doctors, studied all this medicine stuff and all this genetics and chromosome stuff. Came out of that class as educated fools. Because how can you come out of that class with all that science? You're calling yourself a professor, but you're actually victimizing a woman for not giving you a son. Yet you know very well you are the one who is carrying the Y chromosome. How is that even making sense? I used to see these things when I was growing up back in Western Province. We used to call it Western Province. These are so common. In Western, let me tell you something. Watu wanapanda miwa. People are sugarcane farmers because of Mumia's company, of course. So this gentleman takes 18 months ya kupanda miwa to cultivate this sugarcane. And then after 18 months, a company comes and harvests this sugarcane. And they're taking to the industry. They take some time, about a month or two, and they get their bonuses from that. once somebody from Western gets a bonus from the sugarcane company, the first thing they are thinking is to build a house, like a small house, maybe 10, 20 iron sheets. We call it a cable. Huko kwetu, these houses that look like this. You've known them? Those of you who hail from from the villages, you know. Those houses that are matope houses and with iron sheets that are made like this. Okay? Yeah, we call it them cable. Huko kwetu naita nyumba ya cable. I don't know why. So this gentleman builds that and marries a second wife. Hello? So this man has received just 40,000 from the bonuses of sugarcane. The first thing he's thinking, because he's running away from poverty, he goes into a hotel and orders chips and chicken and soda. And as they are seated on that table, they are discussing, these other males around him who are actually massaging his ego are telling him, hey, chairman, yeah, bibi moja, one wife is not enough for you, chairman. I mean, you have so much testosterone. Imagine you've cultivated all this sugarcane. Now you've made these bonuses, chairman. Why would you have one wife? And chairman falls for the trap. Chairman is like, hey, by the way, these guys are right. I mean, me, one wife, how? How? Aje? Chairman comes back and orders fundis. Please, tomorrow be at the site. I want that house here, and I want to bring in a second wife. Now, men, allow me to tell you this for free. I don't care what religion you are in or whatever. One, it's very hard for a man to divide his attention to two women. Very hard. Even one is a whole load of issues with you. You cannot even fix this one. Imagine you don't have an identity already. Now you have a woman who has no identity because you attracted who you are. And now you bring in another one just because of 40,000 shillings. Aye. Somebody saying bukuzus and wangas. hey, please. Usinilete shida. Yeah, so now look. Hey, life experiences. So the reality is this. If you have one wife, you're giving attention to your children because love flows from God to the man, to the woman, to the children. Bring in a second wife, it becomes a serious problem. I know there are people who are actually polygamous. I don't care. That is your own business. But immediately you bring in a second wife, your attention is totally divided. So it becomes hard for you to attend to these children. How can you do that? Unless you have resources, that's the only time you will be able to get respect from these women. But having 40,000 shillings and marrying two wives, just because you got bonuses from sugarcane, and then now you have to wait for 18 months to get another bonus, it is just crazy. Doesn't make sense to me. Lawyers, it's time for you to wake up. Save that energy for something else. And in Luyaland, I really wonder, everybody's a teacher. Just like Ukambani, everybody's a teacher. Mwalimu. A guy scores an A, a genuine A from a village school, and then goes and mwalimu. Walimu, mmejaa. So it's time for you to think otherwise. Hii story ya walimu all the time. Western province is not for walimu. And this Kiswahili of ours, I want to speak pure Kiswahili for what reason? Identity issues. So again, number 2, men. If you have a wife, and then she gives you children, and then God forbid she dies, the worst thing you can do to those children is marrying a second wife or a stepmother to them. Now, I'm telling you this for free. You can bring emotions on this, but as you bring those emotions, please come on so that I can actually make sure you understand it. Request to be on. So, your attention is supposed to be to your children. Just the same way, women who are actually so much into their careers, they are chasing a thrill of the careers. They hate their children so bad. Hello? I'm not saying women should not work. I'm saying a woman who is constantly chasing the thrill of a career hates her children so bad that she cannot be available for these children. However, look at it in the bigger picture. Women are confident working and raising children for a strong man, the provider, the protector, and the leader. Underline that. Women are confidently interested in raising children for a strong man. They have no problem with that. But look at 80% of the marriages or 50-50, or 70-30. The man is paying bills, school fees, the woman is paying rent. Where do you expect the respect to come from? Men, where do you want the respect to come from? You think women love working? Women enjoying being in places of work. I've said this over and I'll say it again. Women enjoying being in places of work. So if you think your woman loves waking up early to prepare children to go to school and then come prepare herself to go to work, you are the weakest man ever. You married the wrong one. I'm telling you the truth. And you can hate me for this, but you will see the sense. Because that marriage is only working on cameras. Whatever you're posting to us on the internet is what is working. That time that you're sitting down to choose which is the best naked picture for your wife so that you can post it for us to come after your wife. That is the only thing that is working in that marriage. But if we put a CCTV in that house, nothing is working. Nothing. Nada. Da way. Nothing. So whatever you're chasing out here is a thrill of external validation. You're trying to get the validation from us. You're trying to show us that you're doing okay. By the time you're thinking of showing us you're doing okay, it is true. You're not doing okay. You're not. So putting your wife out here, she is naked and pregnant, you're exposing her out here, is the number one sign of weakness in men. Males, let me just call them males, because no man in the right senses can actually put a pregnant woman on the internet naked. So you're chasing a thrill of validation from other people. Now, this woman is actually controlling you because you are weak, you are effeminate, you are non-provider. She dislikes you and hates you, and that's why she's trying to think if she puts herself out there, one, she's going to show her exes that she's doing good. She's not. And number two, she's looking for the next. And that's why you see all your celebrities. It is always, Fulani shows us our next new girlfriend. Next new. You're just the one who is also sitting there awaiting for the next new. You're being a caretaker. So imagine you with your whole brain of a leader, sitting down with your woman who is pregnant. You've just come from a studio and now you're choosing the best naked picture to post to us so that we can come and like that picture. So you get the thrill. Aye. Hey, thrills. Crazy thrills, my friend. I'm a bit confused. This Black Man King, I'm a bit confused. His thoughts are evil. And then what about the interventions made in the world? The ideas, the positively impact in the world? Just a question, Doc. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Listen, the only true thoughts are the practical thoughts. We are building a house. We are building it. We focus on building that house. We are going to work. We focus on that. We go to work. It's that simple, bro. What don't you understand on that? It is that simple. Every thought in your head is somebody who put it there. Now listen, how is this happening? Somebody told you that you need to be a doctor, right? Somebody told you for you to get approval from the world, you need to be an engineer. You became an engineer, but that was not satisfying, right? That's why or an architect. That's why you draw this plan today, tomorrow you have a thrill to draw another one. You are in constant competition with people who are not even concerned about you. You are in constant competition to become the best architect. But what is your purpose in this world? Do you think that if those buildings were not there, people will not be living? There is a man who was living in a cave. Did they design a cave? Were they not comfortable at that moment in time? That now you, because of technology, you think you are the best. And because you thought about it, why are you in the cave? You are not in the cave. So now that we have a computer and the internet and we can do all these things, we can actually compete as men. It's good to compete. Competition is good. But what is the basics of this? If that was true, one architect will draw one building and that's enough. We build that building. Once it's done, he's satisfied, we move to the next. But look at them, drawing this building, the next time they are drawing the roads, the next time they are doing something else. Why is it not ever satisfying? Why is it not ever comfortable that I've done this, period, I'm now having it enough? Why? Why do you think you are a doctor and you have never found it enough? You still find a reason to exploit patients or the sick so that you can maintain your status quo as a doctor. Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think a teacher will go to school, teach these children to become better, and when they become better than him or her, they start hating on the same children? Because some of these children have become better than his or her children. Why do you think this teacher will still wake up tomorrow and go for school-based programs to ongeza masomo? Do you really know your purpose in life? Your purpose is only one: to glorify God. The rest shall be added unto you. So whatever you're thinking about, you mention one thing, Black King, mention one thing that you've designed and gotten enough satisfaction and you don't do anything anymore. Mention one thing that you think is enough. You can do it and is enough, apart from glorifying God. Just one thing. Mention one thing. I would actually love you to come on the live here so that I can have this conversation with you. Allow me to bring in one person here as we answer these questions. So we constantly chase thrills. Even that best architect is chasing a sex thrill. Yeah? He is the best, yes. He has designed KICC and all these buildings, and they're looking awesome. But that is not enough, right? He has to chase a woman. He has to chase family. He has to do something else. Why are we not satisfied, even if we are the best in our careers? Why? And Nelly is asking, Doc, what about the males that think their wives just sit at home and do nothing all day long? Those are not... Actually, I'm glad you used the word males. Males. A man who thinks a woman should go out there and please other men to get a salary, because now the one who is giving the salary is actually the new provider. So this man that you're having here, this male that you're having here, is just a caretaker because there's another provider. So you will actually wake up at 5 a.m. to go and attend a meeting for your boss and leave this man erect in that bed. You will actually tell him, hey, hold on this, your morning wood, I don't want it. I'm going for a meeting at 5 a.m. in the morning, and you will attend that meeting, because if you miss that meeting, you will be unable to provide. That will mean your children will suffer, because women are not interested in these men. They're interested in the future of their children, the security of their children. So they will do anything for these children to be secure, only that at some point they don't have an identity, they end up chasing or attracting a wrong person. Because for inside them, they don't have an identity. So they end up attracting the wrong person. Now they have to stick with this person here, but they resent him. They even resent the seed that came from him. And that's why they go to work, leave these children with a maid, and they go to work to make sure they earn a living so that they can actually provide that 50-50. Hello? Well. Yeah, so if a man is starting to think that, oh, this woman is just sitting here, she doesn't do anything, that is an evil nature in him. It's not about him. He's just doing what is being instructed from within him. He's allowing the evil nature through friends. He's allowing the evil nature that settles inside him through the mother to actually dictate what he has to feel about life. They destroy his thoughts, and then they now dictate his feelings. And he gets to overreact on his feelings, and that is how the devil comes in. Oh, the devil loves overreacting men. Men who react to their feelings, the devil is so interested in them. Destroys them totally through their own thoughts. Oh, you will see hell, my friend. So this man who is looking at you and thinking, why is this woman just seated here? Listen, motherhood is a full-time career. You think it's easy to raise children? Men were designed to go out there to work and provide for women and children. It's that simple. Women are designed to nurture, to raise these children and make a man's life behind the scenes easier. But now men have become so weak and effeminate, and women are taking over. And now we are blaming these women for being masculine. But we're not seeing men being feminine. And I tell you women, if a man calls you masculine, oh, this woman is masculine. No, ask him, am I masculine or are you feminine? Because if a man goes into his masculine core, women go back into their feminine core. Respect comes in. But if you are constantly telling women, oh, you're masculine, so that you want to shame that woman, oh, you're masculine, you're actually the one who is feminine. You're actually shaming yourself. Be masculine and see how that same masculine woman goes into her feminine core. Because this woman that you're calling masculine because she's going out to work, she's working under a boss, and she's willing to submit the records, the files, and the deadlines. She's going to smash the deadlines because the boss said, wewe, hii kazi isipofanyika, nyinyi wote kazi inapotea. She'll do anything to make sure that the deadlines are met. But you tell her to be home at 8 and make supper for you. You will know how weak you are. You will know how weak you are, and women will not attack you directly. They start by attacking things around you as they measure. When attack vitu around you, they say this, they see how you react to it, and one day you fail that test, she's there and it's for a lifetime. You will blame her for a lifetime, but you will suffer the consequences for a lifetime. So that means, Safi says, so that means we are the creators of our universe. Yes, listen, there was a good relationship between Adam, the first man, and his creator, the father. There was a perfect relationship. Imagine this guy didn't know evil. All he knew was a revelation from his father, the creator, into him, and he did according to the instructions that were coming from above. He had the spirit of good. And until two things came in, and these two things turned him against the father. And now he started comparing himself with the father. And he received the punishment. So immediately you are turned against your father. And you see, because God is the creator, and on earth he has put his representatives here, biological fathers. So a biological father is the earthly representation of God to a child. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means if you turn children against their biological fathers, and this to the single mothers, the more you put that negative energy in that child about the father, remember that is your alpha male, because a woman does not carry a pregnancy from a man they don't want. They can't. Hey, women will not take a pregnancy from a man they don't want. So by the time this man is putting a pregnancy into you, this was your choice at that moment in time. It was your alpha. This was your alpha male. So now when this man leaves because maybe he was just having fun and you were taking him serious and you did not give him children in wedlock, what happens is you want to turn these children against the father so they can give you attention, so that they can believe your story. It's innocent. It's not you. It's the spirit inside you that is actually controlling you. So when you do that, you turn these children against the father. You've turned them against God, the creator. These children will suffer because they don't have an identity. They have your identity. You have remodeled them into your own identity. Now, LGBTQ is coming in. Now, depression is coming in. Now, chasing innocent, crazy thrills, the evil thrills is there. Sex, addictions, drugs, all this porn and all that is inside them. Now, until they get their identity by forgiving you for actually turning them against their fathers, and then forgive their fathers for actually allowing you to turn them against him because he was not available, he was not present. So it is his mistake, because he was supposed to correct this transition. So because he was absent, they have to forgive him for being absent and allowing you to remodel them in your own image. Once they do that, they get their own identities. That's the reason why you are suffering from depression, anxiety, overthinking, avoid inside of you because you do not have a stoic father. And I've just told you, in marriages nowadays, we have very weak men and very angry women. So inside the children, they already have this nature of anger, emotions, hatred inside them. And it's not them, it's the spirit that they have allowed to live in them. It has been imposed on them. So now that becomes a problem. You can't even think right. You can't do anything right. Everything you're doing seems to be wrong. You get it right now, the next thing that is coming is wrong. And now you become a victim. You start playing a victim because you are off the world. So you're thinking other people are responsible for your own happiness. They're responsible for your own joy and perfect peace. Perfect peace is not coming from outside. If it's coming from outside, it has to be you getting an identity from your parents. Perfect peace is inside you. The real world is inside you. You are your own world. So stop blaming other people. Oh, I don't have a job because of this. Look at the poor people. Look at the poor people, blaming the rich people because they are poor. Oh, I am poor because he is rich. Aye. You've been eating seed oils on your own. You've been eating crappy things. You are unable to do something. What are they doing that you're not doing? Now you're blaming them. And yet, them at that poor, at that rich level of them, it's just rich in your head. You're thinking they are rich, but they don't have health. They are suffering from liver problems, kidney problems in their richness. So for them, they are not rich because the only thing that they want at that moment in time is health. But all this money cannot buy that health. And you have health in that ghetto of yours. You are complaining they are rich. That's why I'm poor. Yet you are rich in health. They are not. So what is richness? What is success? Success is all in your head. It is all here. Kyongs. Hey doc, this is Dorcas. Hey doc, I've been raised with a single grandma. Lost my mom at age of 6 years, never seen my dad, but nikiuliza grandma, her answer is baba yako alikufa. Sometimes I don't get angry, bure tu. Oh, sometimes I do get angry, bure tu. Kindly help me. Thank you so much, Dorcas. That's a valid question. A valid question. Listen, every child has that void inside them that longs for their biological fathers. Every child. This is the reason why I want you to go and check the statistics of children who have killed their fathers, their stepfathers. There's a lot of children who have killed their stepfathers. Because when a woman has a child and then ends up marrying another man, there's a divided attention. So this child feels so hated by the mother, and now he starts hating the mother and hates this gentleman who is coming in because of the divided attention. Once that happens, this child can end up destroying this guy, because the child has the nature of the mother, anger and emotions, and now this guy who is coming here does not even like this child, because this guy was not attracted to your child. He was attracted to you as a woman. Only that now you come with this child, so he has to take you too. Oh, the resentment that is going to happen here. Problems. So yes, every child has that void inside them to long for the fathers. I remember when I was growing up in campus or in high school thereabout, my dad, I could call my dad and we talk for about 2 minutes. If it goes so far, it's 2 minutes. Hello, Lewis, habari yako mzuri. School fees imelipwa, we are done. 2 minutes, my friend. I used to feel so bad about it. And then I called my mother. We talked for 2 hours straight. Oh, we are having these good stories, my friend. Oh, we are having good stories. We make stories, we laugh. And then I'm like, why is it that my father does not talk to me like this? Why is it that my father hates me? So I thought he hated me. So inside me, I started to resent him without even knowing. Until I faced him. That's when I saw the real picture. And most of you hate your mothers. You're even afraid of them. You cannot face your mothers. You cannot face your fathers because you hate them. So every child has that void inside of them of a biological father. And every child who is raised by a single mother has that void inside them. They want to know their fathers. That's why sometimes you ask it. You've been asking your grandma because you really want to know. You really want to know, and that is just a natural thing that you must reconnect with the spirit of your father. So your grandmother has been lying to you all the time, We don't even know. We cannot judge her. But the truth is, your grandmother has put the energy away from you, has actually tried to protect you from yourself, from hurting yourself by knowing that maybe my father is alive and I... So she played the innocent card. So we don't know where the father is. Let's assume the father is actually dead and it's true. Your grandmother is saying that. But one thing you should do for you to free yourself, Dorcas, face your grandmother and tell her that I am resenting you because I've never had a chance to know what happened to my real father. At least I know my mother died when I was 6, so that one I cannot ask. But I have never known what exactly happened to my real father. So I don't want to resent you anymore. I am tired. I want you to forgive me for resenting you. Just say that and that is enough. My friend, that burden of anger, that burden of voidness, that emptiness in you will be relieved. It will be taken away from you. It is not you. It's not your burden. It's because your grandmother remolded you into her own image. And it's not her fault. She was also remolded into another man's or another woman's image by her parents. So you've suffered the consequences of what you have no control over. And things that you don't have control over, the only thing you do is you forgive those who have raised you and you forgive those that you resent. And right now you're resenting your grandmother. And that's the reason why you get angry for no good reason. You don't like being angry. You don't love being angry. That anger inside you is boiling inside you was put there by somebody. You're introduced to anger and hatred by your grandmother for shielding you against your biological father. But she was just doing her best, in quotes. So forgive her, face her, forgive her, overcome her. God will see that zeal that you really need an identity. He will get your grandmom off your path. He will fill you with your own identity. He will fill that void and that emptiness, and you will feel complete. You will end up attracting men who can take care of you. However, if you are young and you don't forgive your mother, your grandmother, you will end up attracting men who will want you to provide. Because inside you, you know women provide. Because your grandmother is the one who took care of you. So you'll be knowing women provide. So you will not be able to attract a man who can provide for you exclusively. You will end up attracting a male who wants a 50-50 or 70-30, 70 coming from you. You'll end up attracting younger men, who really know, oh, you are the mother, you are the provider. You'll end up hating these men and you'll become just like them, so masculine, and you'll be destroyed. And you'll end up turning that anger to your children. They'll become as messed up as you are. So face your grandmother, forgive her, overcome her, and let the rest unfold. You will love it. You will love it. Queen Nelly is saying, talking of biological fathers, yesterday I gathered courage and had a great conversation with my dad. I felt as if a load was lifted off my shoulder. Amazing. You guys don't know this. Listen. Hey. Mothers, and if you're a single mother, you know very well. Your primary role, because you hate what happened between you and the father to your son or your daughter, you look at this son and you see the exact image of that man in that son or that daughter. My friend, you hate this child, but because she's your blood, you can do nothing about it. You hate this child because you see the image of the father in this child. And mothers are so good at destroying their children. Once you do that, you start putting all this negative energy in her so that you earn her validation, so that she believes your story. Regardless of your story, it doesn't matter. Don't make her believe your story. Don't make her believe your story, because you'll be remodeling her into your own image. And look at what happens. You'll want her to become so good and avoid all things that you did wrong. That's how you remodel her in your own image. You want her to do things to avoid the mistakes that you did, so that she doesn't end up like you. Guess what? She totally will end up just like you, and even worse. She will come to you with a child at even 16. Now the devil will start talking to you. Oh, she just became your own image. What do? She's 16. She can't get this child. It will be a shame. The devil is talking into your ears. You will now push this child to go to abort. You will actually push an abortion, organize it, and you'll make this child abort. And when you do that, this child hates you so badly. She hates you, she resents you, but she can't do anything. She doesn't even know it. That's the weird part. She will not even know it. She'll become just like you. And that is what you people call generational curse. So therefore, it's you to break the generational curse. Be in the world, but do not be of the world. Relieve yourself. Get that voidness out of you. By forgiving your mother for turning you against your fathers. By forgiving your fathers for being absent when your mothers were trying to turn you against them. It was their role to actually protect you from these emotions. So forgive them. Once you do that, you reconnect with their spirits and their soul. Now, regardless if your father is drunk or a drunkard, it doesn't matter. Once you reconnect with the soul of the biological father, you get your own identity. Once you get that identity, everything shall be revealed to you from above, from God through that identity of yours, and now you'll do whatever that spirit instructs or reveals to you. You will do good. But if you have the nature of evil, you will constantly do evil, because that is the revelation that you're getting. And once you do evil, you will defend the evil nature by giving it sweet names. Sweet names, constantly defending the nature of evil. Because that's what you know. You have to defend your master. And when you do that, you will not have fear inside you. When you forgive people, you will not have fear. You will not have doubt. You will not seek to find love. You will not be this religious person who is thinking, oh, my religion is the best. You will not be that type of person. You will be a spiritual person. Okay? And religion and spirituality are not the same. I'm a believer that religion is supposed to give you the discipline to stick to something and defend it. But spirituality is about you finding God and your rooting. You will not run a business with the expectations that I have to get profits from this business to eat it. No. You will not invest for you. You will invest for those who will be there in future. You will stop living in the future or in the past, because your past and your future are just in your imagination. So there's nothing about the future. Same to nothing about the past. God did not build you or did not create you to judge you. He's not judging you. You're judging yourself. The devil is actually making you judge yourself. So God did not design you to judge you. Regardless of your past, it's gone. So it's only in your imagination. It's you to live consciously in the future. Be conscious about your life. And then when you've forgiven those people, stick in prayer. And I'm not telling you to pray from your mind, because that's again the devil. You're praying to your father, the devil. Pray from your hearts. And this is the reason why for the best prayer is the silent prayer. You just close your eyes and listen to yourself. Breathe naturally, relax into it. Let thoughts flow in and out. Do not actually pay attention to the thoughts, but do not act on them, okay? Let them just come in and let them go. Let them come in and go. Just listen to nature. Because that time when you say, I am tired, that time when you start listening to yourself, that's when God manifests. But the more you resist the truth, the more you dig your own hole. And because God is not an emotional God, He's not coming to get you off that. You know, most of us think that God acts like us. He's emotional. Oh, He knows I'm suffering. He understands my suffering. Of course, He does. But you think He's coming to your aid. You must allow Him to come to your aid. Somebody saying now that is meditation. Again, that is meditation. If you want to call it that way, if you want to give it a good name, well done. But just know, for me, I call it a silent prayer, where you just listen to your thoughts, let them come in and come out, let them go. Do not focus on any thought. Pay attention to all of them, but do not act on any of those thoughts. Every time. And when you see something that is evil, when you see somebody trying to attack you, do not retaliate. Take about 10 seconds before you respond. You will realize your response is useless. You will realize some of these things do not need a response. Silence is actually golden. So when you start paying attention to this, imagine me talking to you in a very loud voice, and in your head you're busy counting 1 to 10 before you respond to anything I'm saying. So I tell you 1,000 words, and when naongea haraka, I tell you 1,000 words, and you're busy counting 1, 2, 3. By the time it comes to 10, you don't even need to respond to me. I'll be tired of you already. And when you see that, you don't argue with me. You simply make a silent prayer and say, oh God, forgive this one, and allow him to see light through the same window that I'm seeing light through. Amazing life. Perfect peace. You'll start attracting people who have the same energy and vibration, because you attract who you are. Oh, it shall be a good life, my friend. I'm telling you this for free. Go get that identity. You need it. You'll sit down and look at life and be like, why didn't I know this earlier? You've seen her saying that. This is who? This was Queen Nelly saying that she gathered the courage to just face the father. Imagine your father. It comes to a place that you now have to gather courage to face him. Imagine that. This is somebody who put life into you. But now you don't have the confidence to face him. So you have to gather confidence or courage to face him. Imagine that. How evil is life? How evil is life? And I tell you this all the time. Most of you will hate what I say, not because I'm saying the wrong things. It's because I'm saying things that you don't want to hear, because you resist the nature of good. Mudhoni Kariuki is saying the fake birth certificate that they didn't have my dad's name because the two families of my mom and dad had issues. Is this the first one? Let me see if the first one. I think there's another text or someone. The fake birth certificate that didn't have my dad's name. This is interesting. So there was a fake birth certificate that didn't have Mudhoni's father's name because the two families of my mom and dad had issues. I ended up getting my original birth certificate in adulthood 2 years ago, and I am happy. Mudhoni, you're not happy. Okay? That's the devil trying to lie to you that you're happy, to just excite you. The truth is this. Your parents were so evil, they hated you so much that their issues were they were actually introduced to you. Their own issues were supposed to be their own issues. So imagine their evilness, the evil nature inside them that made them actually fake everything, including a birth certificate. And if you look deeper into it, you'll realize it's a side of the mother. So they blocked you totally because how if it's the side of the father, the name of the father will be in that birth certificate. So they actually hated you so bad that they actually gave you a fake certificate so that you actually believe that you're not of that blood of that biological father of yours. Somebody's saying maybe the father didn't want responsibility. It doesn't matter. He's the father. And understand this. Women are the ones who give access to sex and who to give children to. So therefore, if you get pregnant for a man, it is your choice. You chose that. So then you cannot shift blame, because when you shift blame, you're playing a victim. That means you've allowed the nature of evil inside you. The truth does not care. It doesn't care. Okay? And this is a child, for heaven's sake. What if the father wanted to provide or didn't want to provide is none of the child's business. It doesn't change the fact that this is the biological father. And the child must get her or his identity from the father. So they hated you, Mudhoni, to an extent that they lied to you. Because lies is the nature of evil. And now you have to find the truth on your own. So therefore, that's now where it comes in. You have to forgive them. Because the more you see evil in them, the more you resent them, and the more you become just like them. So for you to change that nature of evil, simply move to them and forgive them. Tell them that this is what happened and I resent you because of this. I forgive you. I want you to forgive me. Actually ask for forgiveness from them. Tell them, I apologize. Oh, once you do that, you're good to go. Forgive your mother, and now that you know, if you know your father, go face him, forgive him, and now your life becomes just open. You will have a very good life. I'm telling you the truth. Amazing, interesting stories here. Let me see somebody here on TikTok. Now, if you can make a call to us, you can actually make a call to us through 0707 20 20 74. That's a contact that you can actually change your life for the better. 0707 20 20 74 is Identity Fridays. And as we listen to this, allow me to market my platforms. Health and Wellness Spot on YouTube. Hose with Dr. Lewis. HAWS with Dr. Lewis on YouTube. Health and Wellness Spot on TikTok. And Dr. Lewis Muchile on TikTok. Those are my 4 accounts. 2 on TikTok, 2 on YouTube. Join them. Personally, I don't want to have kids because what I went through, where I might pass it to my kids. Nessie, it's not like you don't want to have children, because by the time you're thinking of telling us you don't want kids, it means there's a need inside you of wanting kids. Okay? By the time you thought of telling us that you don't want them, you really want them. Because if you didn't want them, you would not have said. You just don't want kids and that's it. That's your life. But because you said it, it's because inside you have that feeling that you want a child. Okay? And it's there in every woman. So I would like you to do this. Forgive them for actually messing you up. Once you forgive them, they release your identity. Once you get your identity, now your children will not suffer the same consequence. Okay? But you see, the more you resist things, the more you attract those things. If your father took you through hell, if your mother was a single mother, and you resent them for that, you will end up becoming a single mother at an earlier age, or you end up becoming weak as your father, and you will attract a man who is weaker than your father. Where is judgment? This one just disappeared again. I don't want to disappear. If you come in fully. We want these conversations. They are very interesting. There is another message. I don't know where it is. But I don't see it. So yes, 0707 20 20 74 is the number you can actually call. So anytime you think that God is judging you, God does not judge you. God is not as emotional as you are. He's not as emotional as you are. So God cannot create you to judge you. He even understands that whatever is happening to you, whatever sin you're creating is not you. It is the evil spirit that is inside you. So what he wants is you to get off that evil spirit and allow yourself to die of evil so that you can resurrect in light and freedom, perfect peace. This is the reason why God understood this clearly, actually. You see, God did not tell you to hate your enemies. He told you, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. Imagine that. So you are here busy hating somebody, yet the same person is the image of God. So God says they don't know what they are doing because they have an evil spirit inside them that has built a home inside them. They have allowed it. So if they do you wrong, do not retaliate. Do not argue. Forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. Just make a silent prayer. I forgive them. I hope that one day they see light through the same window that I've seen light through. And move on. Oh, most people live in their hell and they love their hell. That's why they'll defend addiction and pornography. They'll defend all this alcoholism. I used to have an uncle who was drunk like crazy. Hey, okay. I've been visited by a visitor here. So I used to have this uncle who was drunk. He used to drink alcohol and then to get the confidence to come and abuse us. Okay, because he thought, and the reason why he is in that state is because we are here. He will even tell you, nisaidie 100 nikunywe pombe nipate confidence ya kutukana. Those who don't understand Swahili, he will tell us, please give me 100 shillings. I want to go and take alcohol so that I can get the confidence to come and abuse you. Forgive me 100 shillings only. So he gets this money, goes and drinks, gains the confidence to come and abuse you. And he will abuse you the whole night. He's there until his alcohol goes down. He's abusing you all night. I used to wonder what is wrong with this guy. So one day he said, I'm leaving alcohol. And we're like, uncle, you cannot leave. You cannot drop alcohol. He's like, me, nawacha pombe. Me and alcohol? No way. No way. Me, I'm leaving alcohol. We believed him. We believed him, like, literally, because he was so convincing. And I don't know why when these people who are drunk are so interesting. They have these funny stories until you cross the line. Well, so, of course, he dropped alcohol for about a week. And then he got sick. I think it was withdrawal symptoms. So when he got sick, his friends came over. They came to see. So his drunk friends came to see their sick drunk fella. Okay? Hey, Babji is now sick. So they came and convinced him, you know what? You're sick because you dropped alcohol, and this is typhoid. Hii tumbo inakuuma hii. This is typhoid. And then he was like, by the way, this must be typhoid because I ate very bad food in a hotel somewhere. Like, you see, that is... But you see, do you know the best medicine for typhoid? Is changa. If you drink changa, those of you who are outside the country who don't know changa is this local brewed alcohol. Very, very weird alcohol. It can make you go blind so fast. So they lied to him, you know what? For you to treat this typhoid, you must take that alcohol. And they volunteered to buy him just this time only to heal his typhoid. Up to now, we are still waiting for him to recover. I'm still looking forward to the day that he'll actually leave the alcohol. Up to now, it's been about 15 years down the line. He's still there. I was like, friends. Those people you call friends can actually destroy you. They're not your friends. They're just people you know. And friendships are overrated and friendships don't exist. I'm telling you this for free. You can build healthy relationships, but friendships don't exist. Because when you call somebody your friend, you're limiting them to live their own life so that they can live a life that pleases you. Because if they do something wrong, you start telling them, but you are my friend. Why would you do this? How could you do this when you're my friend? You're limiting them from living. So those people that you're calling your friends, remember they also have other friends. Okay? So they have other friends who they can actually sacrifice you for. So as you think this is your friend, you're actually limiting them from living their life fully. Because if they do some things, you will judge them. You will bring them to terms that, hey, you've made something wrong for me. You've done something wrong. So please, they're either your workmates, your colleagues, or people you know, or people you've built healthy relationships around, okay? That word, this is my friend, this is my friend. Wow, friends. Friends, they are there because of something. If that thing disappears, they are out. And they will never remember you. Huh.
Hello, Doc.
Hello, who is this? This is Linda. Linda, how are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
How do you know you're fine? How do you know you're fine?
Because I feel fine.
Oh, it is in your feelings. It's not a reality.
Yeah. It's a reality also.
But feelings are controlled by thoughts. And we just said thoughts are evil because they're what the devil uses to lie to you that you are fine, so that the next minute he tells you you are not fine. So how do you know you're fine? Say all is well. How are you?
Okay, wherever. All is well.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Talk to us.
Okay. So I have this issue. Allow me to speak Swahili.
Go ahead.
Sasa niko na hii shida. I cannot make my own. Yani nikikuwa na vitu mbili za choose one of them. For example, kama tuniko na two things to choose one of them. I cannot to make one. So if I make one, I will end up regretting why I did not do the other one.
Okay.
And I cannot just be at peace with one.
Okay.
Kama naenda kubuy kitu, I'll buy the two of them.
Because if you choose one,
this one is affecting. I think it's affecting me in one way or another.
So if you choose one, you'll feel bad about leaving the other one.
Yes.
Well, you see, being undecisive or indecisive is actually the nature of evil again. Because you see, whatever spirit that is living in you controls you. It's the one that actually instructs you. So I'll ask you this. Were you raised by both parents?
Yes.
Were they sharing bills?
No, my father was the provider.
Okay.
But after some time, when kazi yake iliisha, mother akakuwa anaanza provide.
So there's a time your mother provided?
Like after...
After how long?
Yes, like until now, like kuanzia my high school until now. She's the provider.
Oh, so your mother started providing when you were in high school and your father was just seated there. Your father lost his job when you were in high school?
Yes.
So he has never done anything to get back to his position as the man?
My mother father alikuwa anamwambianga awache kazi akae nyumbani. Sasa yeye alikuwa anakataa kuenda, alikuwa anakataa kukaa home, yeye anataka kwenda kufanya kazi. So it ended up father akakuwa like he doesn't care.
Okay.
After all, mother provide home, atabai kila kitu. Sasa ikakuwa tu hivyo hadi wenye tumepoa kubwa, tumetoka nje tunafanya kazi, we send money home.
You send money to your father or your mother?
Yes. Mimi nafanya kazi.
So do you send your money to your father or your mother?
I send to my mother, to provide home, and then my father yake too, because he doesn't buy anything.
And how do you know he doesn't buy anything?
Because he doesn't, yani madeni wanga ananunua kila kitu.
Oh, how do you know?
Because the time I've been home, madeni amekuwa na buy. The time I've been home.
I've been
out for almost.
What if
4 years?
What if your father gives your mother money to buy those things? How do you know it's not your father who is giving her money to buy those things?
They're not together, first of all.
They're not together?
Yani wanaishi tu pamoja juu ya kuishi, but they don't talk. Oh,
so they stay together but they don't talk?
No.
When did this start?
When I was in high school.
So your mother was okay until your father lost his job?
Sijui shida ilitokea hapo ndio akakosana juu hapo atujuange, but yani walianza tu kukosana hivyo tu. Walikosana tu, then sijui kama alikosana ndio kazi ikaisha ama, lakini tukiana tu waongei wako na vita.
Okay.
Wako wanajaribu kuwakalisha chini, hawako solve anything. So until now wanakaanga tu hivyo. So ni mimi natumanga pesa home ya matumishi. I sent mama enough, alafu father namtumia tu yake, unajua hata buy like kidogo.
Are you married?
No, I'm not, but I have a baby.
Okay.
I have a son.
Oh, you have a son. Where is the father?
The father, I'm not with him, yani wantukua pamoja.
Why?
He denied the baby.
Oh, he did deny the baby. So do you resent him?
Yes. No, I don't hate him. Because by that time tulikuwa high school. Tulikuwa tumemaliza form 4 hivi tu ndio nikapata, then akaniambia ana do, akasema alidinai kwa sababu hakuwa na do.
Okay.
Alikuja baadaye kusema sijui tukue pamoja, but yani sasa hana do, he doesn't do anything. Unaona?
Do you have a son?
Mimi nikawasha tu.
Do you have a son or daughter?
Yes, I do. A son.
How old is he?
8 years.
And how will you raise him into being a man?
I wonder.
Amazing. Now listen, for you to get the revelations of how to raise your child or your son in a good way and a God-fearing way, I need you to do this. Have you ever forgiven your mother?
So I have another problem with my mom. Achana hata kwanza na hiyo ya mwanzo hiyo. Niko na shida nyingine sasa tena na yeye. So from kutokea nikuje huko Gulf, nilikuwa namtumia tu pesa mzuri. Then like yani she misuses the money because lazima tu nimtumie juu enda anakaa na mtoto wangu, lazima tu nimtumie.
Okay.
So like kitu kama akakuwa yani ikakuwa kwamba lazima tu nimtumie. Unaona?
Yeah.
And mimi ndo nafanya kila kitu. If I don't talk to her,
she doesn't talk to you.
She'll never talk to me. Yeah, until now.
Yeah.
I thought we can stay like 1 or 2 weeks. if I don't call back, if I don't ask them how they're doing, haizi nipigia. No.
So the truth is your mother is actually exploiting you.
Nikitaka tu kusema yani nikitaka tu hata kuongea sasa hivi mtoto wangu amefunga shule, nilikuwa nampeleka boarding to home kuko very toxic.
Yeah.
So wamefunga shule tu, yani at least niongee tu. Kwa sasa nilimtumia do ya kwenda kuchukua mtoto, nikamwongezea extra paka na yake. Unaona? Sasa tu nikasema acha niongee kwa mtoto ndiye amefunga shule. Aliambia tu ana credit.
Where. And you sent her money?
I felt bad. Yeah, I sent her money.
So your mother is actually exploiting you. That's the real thing. She's so evil that she's exploiting you. And now you've left her raise your son. Sons cannot be raised by mothers. It's hard for you to raise a son into being a man. It's hard for your mother to raise that son into being a man. That means that son has to find a father figure, either his father or your uncle. And if you want that son to be right, he has to be raised by uncles from the father's side, because uncles from the mother's side are so good. They will pamper him. He'll get destroyed. But this is what you do. You start from somewhere. First things first, call your mother and tell her, whatever is happening and whatever happened between you and my father has made me resent you for no good reason. I apologize. Once you say that, do not allow her to respond, or if you allow her to respond, do not take in what she's saying, because she'll pull that emotional move. She'll start telling you, oh, you've seen how I raised you all through. I was paying your school fees. You saw how your dad did not do this. How your dad was this person or that. Do not listen to that nonsense, because that's an emotional move. The devil is trying to control her. So simply call her and tell her, hey, mom, I have seen it all and I'm tired of resenting you. I apologize. Once you do that, give her 10 seconds. If she responds, well done. If she doesn't, hang up the call. Call your biological father. Do you have a relationship with him?
Yeah, very good. Kwanza ananipigianga like after nisipompigia tu after 2 days ameshanitumia please call ama ananiflash nampigie.
Good.
Every other time mtu ananipigia.
Good. So call your father. No, don't worry. Blessings don't come from that side. They come from the father's side. So what you need to do is, now that you have a good relationship with your father, call him and tell him, hey, Dad, I would like to know what happened between you and my mom. Ask him that. Let him respond, because
you see, nikikuwa vacation home. Nikikuwa vacation home, madhe tuna shida na yeye, nikamwambia unajua tuwezi, yani amweze kwa mnakaa video. Niko na my little sister almost 15 years, 15 years.
Yeah.
Nikamwambia sasa si tuweze kwa tunakaa hivi video na watoto wadogo, sasa mnagombana mbele ya watoto, unaona? Sasa watoto wanakaaje? Akamwambia mimi sina shida. Baba yako ndiye akona shida.
Exactly.
Ndio anajua mimi namganga naye kabisa. Sasa nikijaribu kuongea na father najaribu kuleta story juu tu, nataka kuambia kwani kitu gani ilifanyika hapa. Yani he literally runs away.
Good.
I don't know what.
Because he knows that woman was an evil woman, and it's his fault because he chose who he was. So what you do is forgive your mother, move forward, face your father, call your father and tell him, hey Dad, I'm tired of resenting you. I know you were there, you wanted to be there to protect me from the emotions that were coming from my mother, but you did not do that. So I actually forgive you, because you see, it was his role to provide and then protect you from, one, emotions that were coming from your mother, and two, external aggressors. He was not there for the two. And it was at your very, very delicate stage when you're just getting into your teenage, in high school. So he should have been there to teach you how to be a woman and how to behave before a man. And that's how you ended up being a single mother, because you resented your mother, and that the break that happened between them and your father, and you ended up attracting a man who cannot actually provide for you. He made you pregnant, he made you a woman, which is okay. But now you need to forgive your mother and then forgive your father. Once you do that, God will take that burden off you. And now he will reveal things to you on how to raise your son. If you want to send money to your mother to raise your son, no problem. But when you come back here, you will know how to raise that son into being a man. You will find people to attach to. You will find people to attach this son to, so that these people can actually make sure that your son grows from being a boy to being a man. And that's how you'll make sure that this son does not suffer in life. And then as he grows, teach him forgiveness, so that you can actually release his identity. Do not mold him into your own image. Okay, just watch. He's 8 years. He has a capability of using common sense. Simply guide him so that he does not hurt himself and he does not get in trouble. But do not impose your identity on him, because he will become just like you. But start from somewhere, forgiving your mother and forgiving your father. Okay?
And once nikitaka kuongea na anything, yani anakuanga mtu wa hasira haraka. Like,
But
nikikuwa vacation home, there was an issue. Ilikuwa issue gani? I had bought a farm. Nilikuwa nimenunua tu kashamba mahali, so nikakuwa venye nilifika home nikaambia father nimpe pesa ya kufence hiyo shamba. So my mother got angry. Akaniambia sijui ni kwa nini unapea baba yako pesa, unalipea mimi pesa. So nikamwambia hii pesa nimwambia. So by that time sikuwa na domini kwa sababu nilikuwa nimeshafanya renovation nyumba. Our home. Nilikuwa nafanya renovation. I didn't have a lot of money ya kuwapea pesa mingi. So nikapea father do, nikamwambia hii ni ya kufence that farm. Manda akakasirika sana, akaniambia kama unataka kupatia baba yako pesa ndatoka kwa nyumba, nitawaachia nyumba. Actually akaniambia after some time anakwanga mtu muombezi. Oh my God. Akaniambia
You're getting emotional over this?
That my father wants me. Babangu ananitaka. Which is not true. You see?
Wait a minute. Linda. Your mother told you that because you're sending your father money, your father wants you intimately.
Yes, kwamba ananitamani.
Wow.
Yet mimi nakuanga tu karibu na father. Hiyo ni kitu naelewa kwanga tu kabisa, hata my siblings wote wanajuanga tu.
Why would she?
Kuna issue home wananiambia ngani?
Why would she?
Hebu jaribu kuongea na father. Nini sijui kuhusu hii. Sasa turn the table around on me. Kwamba baba ananitaka ndani nisikuwe naongea na father. My father is my best friend. Siwezi acha kuongea na yeye kabisa.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Father akiona naongea na yeye, akasirika. Mbona naongea na father sana? Mbona naongea na yeye sana?
So she thinks that you and your father are being involved intimately. So he thinks your father is interested in you sexually. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this thing. Linda, just soak it, relax into it as we move. Do not cry over it. Your mother is so evil. Like, how would you even think that a father is interested in a daughter sexually? Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make these things up. Imagine that. Like, mothers are so evil. Mothers. And when I tell you these things, guys, you think I'm lying. Mothers are sometimes so evil. Some mothers out here, not all, but some mothers out here are so evil to an extent that they can think that the father is having intimate relationships with their daughters. Imagine that. How evil can you be to think that? So that's why I told you, most women see their husbands in their children, and they start hating these children because they think the attention that they were supposed to get is actually going to these children. So they hate these children, and they end up remolding these children into their own images. Imagine now, this mother became the provider. When she became the provider, this lady innocently did not understand what was going on. And now this girl has become so much of a provider, just like the mother. And that's the reason why she found a reason to go out to actually make sure she can actually provide for this family and the child. Why? Because she ended up attracting a weaker male who made her pregnant without having to take responsibility. So you attract who you are. So from within her, she had this false identity from the mother that hated the father. So the mother hated the father through her and made the child hate the father with her own hatred, and then turned the child against the father. And when she did that, she's totally making the child hate the fathers. And this lady is suffering. She doesn't like crying. The reason why she's breaking down is because she feels that void of her father inside her. And because the father is present, now the mother is trying to destroy that relationship by actually demonizing this and telling her that your father wants you sexually. Imagine that. So Linda, I want you to call your mother, and this time let's just go straight to the point. Tell your mother, hey mom, all the things that you've said have made me resent you so badly. And I am tired of resenting you because you're my mother. I want you to forgive me for resenting you. Just tell her that. Once you say those words, now regardless of what your mother says, do not take it in, because if you say those words expecting something from her, she will tell you things that will break you down even further. You just tell her those words and know that she might end up overreacting. She's a woman and it's not her fault. It is the spirit that is living inside her that was actually controlling her to say what she says. She doesn't like even saying it. But the spirit that is living inside her is the one that is spirit of anger and evil that is dictating what she's doing and what she's saying. So what you need to do is, in your head, become so aware of yourself. Become self-aware. Once you become self-aware, face her, overcome her by forgiving her. Tell her, I've been resenting you and I want you to forgive me. I apologize. Once you've done that, God will get that anger out of you, that sadness, that emptiness out of you. He will fill you with love. And now call your father and tell your father, hey, Dad, there are things that happened between you and mom that actually separated us from you. And I realize these things have made me resent you for no good reason. I apologize. And now because you already have this constant relationship with your father, it will be easier for you to face your father than it will be easier for you to face your mother. Your mother will be a difficult one. So overcome her first and then overcome your father. And then God will see your suffering. He will get rid of that emotion out of you, that anger, that emptiness. And he will fill that void with an identity. And through that identity, God will reveal things to you. So therefore, you will not believe your thoughts. You will constantly doubt your thoughts. You will stick in prayer, and then God will reveal things through your identity, and you will do as God instructs. And that will be perfect peace. Umenielewa? So do that. Gain the confidence and call your mother. The sooner, the better. Call her and tell her exactly those words that I've told you. Once you're done, give her 10 seconds to respond, and then hang up. Call your father. Tell him the same things. You will be so relieved. There's a lot that will be gotten out of your chest. And that is what we call perfect peace. You will not expect anything from him. You will not be attached to your children or to your son. You will not be attached to them. You will do what you need to do because it will be the spirit inside you that will be revealing to you what to do to them. So until then, go fix that identity.
What if I call her and then
it doesn't matter. Listen. Stop living in the future. That is you overthinking. It's the devil who is telling you, don't do that. If you do that, your mother will become angry. Your mother will now desert the home. It is none of your business. You came alone, you will live alone. You did not even come with your son. You came alone. So stop thinking about the future. Stop overthinking about how they will react to what you will tell them. You go do what you have to do because you're fixing you. And the best way to fix others is by fixing you. So stop worrying about anything else. Right now, worry about getting your own identity. The rest shall align, okay? Yeah. Stop worrying because fear, that doubt that you have inside you, that expectation is actually the nature of the devil. That is the devil telling you through your ears, please don't do it. Your mother will be emotional. Your mother will be very angry. He will chase your child away. All these things are the devil trying to convince you to just stay in that unstable state so that he does not die. Okay, so you have to die from that evil nature so that you resurrect in the light and the spirit of good. So go do it. You will see what will happen to you. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just go and do it.
Okay, I'll do so tomorrow.
Amazing. And we are proud of you. Thank you so much for coming in with the confidence to share your story. It doesn't end here. It ends when you will have your own identity and when you will have perfect peace. I wish you the best.
Okay, shukran.
Good, amazing. I wish all of you are hearing or listening to Swahili, who are understanding Swahili. Man, there's a way some mothers destroy their children. They do. They destroy their children totally by turning these children against their fathers. Oh, and these children suffer because they suffer in the hands of the world. And this is not an only story. I'm telling you, when you hear these stories on these Identity Fridays, you will know that there is a reason why I started this. Your blood pressure will suffer from. It is not you. Those stress levels that cannot be controlled, they are not you. Mdoni Kariuki continues this story and says, at home, my aunt said that I should not name my children a son after my dad. In Kikuyu culture, we name children after our parents first. And I said no. I said I can even call them 2 English names. And then she goes and laughs. I'm sure they'd be waiting to see who my son will be named after, simply because my parents had altercations that made me suffer in between on one side inciting me against, okay, on one side inciting me again on my dad's side. I think your mother's side hate your father's side so bad because because of how I man. Oh, Mudoni, I think it's high time you just face those people. Because you see, they're making you resent them for no good reason. And you see, they have actually made you live in the future. So they're actually expecting you to do some things in the future, not to name their children in the future. They have put your mind to be unconscious. They have facilitated the devil to live inside you because they have put your mind in the future that is not even there. The future is now. Fix it now. Let's talk to this one. Uragu Lucy.
Hi, Doc. How are you?
Hello, I'm good and all is well. How are you?
I'm fine. So, thank you for bringing this topic today.
Yeah.
Because I'm going through a situation right now.
Okay.
So, my dad and my mom, they broke up when I was 2 years.
Yeah.
My mom went back to Shosho's place.
Yes.
So, at her mother's and her family's place, let me say that. So, since that time, I'm brought up there until when I was in high school, I lost my mom.
Okay.
So, I've been raised by my grandma and my grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all through my life, I've never seen my dad.
Okay.
He has never even come to my home. Like, he did not even know my mom passed away.
Okay.
So it happened this year when I came back to Kenya around March.
Mm-hmm.
A situation happened and we met.
Okay. With your biological father?
Right now, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
Right now, I'm in my early 30s.
Yes.
Since I was 2 years, I've never seen him. I've never met him. He has never bring me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And my group, it was me and my brother. Like when they broke up, we were two.
Yes.
My brother and I.
Okay.
We met this year.
Okay.
Since that time, he has been trying to create a bond between me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Which has become so hard for me. Like, okay, I forgive him, and I don't know. Okay, I forgive him, yes, but every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, he tried to blame other people.
Mm.
You know the reason why I did not come to see you guys. You know this. And he tried. He always blamed people around him, like the family. But he has never blamed my mom.
Okay.
So he blamed other people around them, like my mother, things like that. So right now, okay, my father did not get married again.
Good.
He doesn't have other children apart from me and my brother.
Yes.
So every time I talk to him, he's like, I would like you and your brother to come inherit from me. I have that land I have, it's for you guys. I don't have now. Where we are raised from, we are given inheritance there.
Okay.
So it's hard for us to take this inheritance from a person who did not raise us up.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we don't know how the other people, like, they will feel betrayed. How are we even taking inheritance from? Like, I'm going through a situation. I don't know whether to ignore him.
Listen, the reason why you're confused is because, again, you lack an identity. You have all these multiple false identities that you're struggling with, and that's why you are unable to make one decision. But let me ask you this. Is he your real biological father? How did you know?
Okay, it's a story, and I did not want to go aside because it's a long story. So in Kikuyu, once you give birth the first daughter, you name the mother of the husband.
Okay.
So when I came back, it was a coincidence that my grandma, the one that I'm named after, like his mother, passed away.
Okay.
And he had said I should attend
Okay.
the grandma, that is.
Okay.
So they looked for my number, and by coincidence I was here, so I went for that burial. That's where I met him. Not
Okay.
that he looked for me. He did not fight for me. It's me that I went for the burial, and I met him.
Perfect.
For the first time.
Perfect. And have you ever had that void inside you that wants the father, your biological father?
Yeah, but I think where I was raised, I was given comfort that I don't need him, because even my ID, it reads my grandpa name.
Leave alone every other shenanigan that is going around you. I just want to know if deep within you, if you have that void for your father and to have a relationship with him, even though it's unstable a little bit. Have you ever longed to have a relationship with your biological father?
Yes.
Okay. And when you met him, how did you react to it?
Okay. His brother is the one who introduced me because we don't know each other. So for him, he looked happy, and he started introducing me to other people of the family. Oh, this is my daughter. But to me, it did not seem like, how were you saying it's your daughter and you have never met?
Good. And you said that you forgiven him. How did you forgive him?
Okay, I forgive him in terms of he when I talk to him, he starts to blame other people which are not even alive right now. Like, we cannot even sit down and discuss. My mother already passed away. The person who's blaming my grandma has already passed away.
So did you tell him that you've forgiven him?
Yeah, I told him.
And did you ask for forgiveness from him? Did you tell him that he should forgive you for resenting him? Because he wasn't available when you needed him the most. That's why you were raised by another family. Did you tell him, hey, I've resented you for the longest period of time because you're not there when I wanted a father, and I want you to forgive me? Did you tell him that? Why don't you consider doing that? Because right now you're burning in your own flame. You are confused. You don't know what to do. You don't know what next for your life. You don't know where your dowry will go to. Where I come from, dowry goes to the father. So you don't know how these things will happen. I don't know if that is the same case with your place. But you don't know how life will turn out for you. Because
I don't know even that inheritance he's talking about.
Do you have a child?
No.
And have you been married? Are you married?
No.
Would you want to get married?
Yeah.
And would you want your husband to leave your children so that they can suffer the same consequences that you suffered?
No.
And then if you really want that for your children, and then please, you have to face him and overcome him by forgiving him, and then asking him to forgive you because you resented him, because you actually resent him because he was unavailable. So you must tell him that you need him to forgive you because you resented him for no good reason. Once you do that, God will take the burden off you. You will have a spirit that has comfort. You will have perfect peace. You will not even care about the whatever is happening on your ID. You will not care about the inheritance because you came with nothing and you live with nothing. Is that something you can do? Facing him and telling him the truth and now letting it go and asking him to forgive you for resenting him. Can you do that for us?
Via a call.
You can do it on a call. Are you in the country?
No.
Oh, if you're away, you can do it on a call. Yeah, just face him on call and tell him that. Once you say that, God will take that burden of you and you'll now have your own identity. Right now, you don't have an identity. That's why you're struggling. So when you get your own identity, everything else will be revealed through your own identity and you'll not suffer any consequences of indecisiveness. You'll not worry about material things because you came with nothing, you live with nothing. You'll not attach yourself to anything. You'll not expect him to behave in a certain way. You'll not even care that he's trying to fix a relationship between you and your brother. You'll simply just focus on you and be you. And that's how life is. It becomes easier when you start focusing on yourself. And through focusing on yourself, you can actually fix other people. Unanielewa? Because if you don't do that, you'll constantly chase thrills. You'll constantly try to chase a life independent of him. But remember, you are his seed. So there's no way you can be independent of him. So you'll constantly be chasing a life that is actually avoiding him. And when you try to avoid him, you'll end up attracting a man who is actually weak and wicked like just him. And you don't want that. And then your children will suffer through that because they do not understand the language of forgiveness. They don't have identities. And that will be a problem for you. So if you want to fix that in future, and then fix it now, so that if God gives you a chance to live tomorrow, you would have fixed everything now, and you'll have perfect peace.
Okay, because I was feeling like he's just trying to create a bond because he feels he needs me now.
No, he doesn't need you. He is. Don't care. Listen. Don't judge him because you're judging God. You cannot judge him. You don't know the consequences. You don't know what happened between or conspired between them. So that's none of your business. So he is suffering in his own hell. That's why he's trying to find validation from you and to get approval from your friendship and your bond. That is not going to work. And since you know better, the best thing to do is to fix yourself by getting your own identity so that God reveals to you what to do. But the more you resent him, the more you run away from him, the more you'll attract him. So you see what you're doing is you're avoiding him because you're thinking and you're judging him. He wasn't there or all that. Yes, he wasn't there, but that is your past. You don't have a past right now. Whatever you have is a memory of the past, which is in your mind. And the devil is actually trying to suppress your future or your brightness and light by actually trying to tell you, oh, you know what? Your father is now coming in because he knows you have worked so hard to get this and he's going to take it over. He's just trying to win you by telling you all these things about inheritance. That is the devil trying to control you. Do not allow him. And that's why I'm telling you, don't live in the future. Don't worry about what he's doing. It's none of your business. Your business is you need to go and get your identity. That's what you need. Yeah, when you get that identity, everything else shall work according to what is actually being revealed through that identity. Manielewa? Yeah, so face him. Do not fear him. Go and overcome him.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. Amazing. And I wish you well. You deserve better. Yeah, you deserve more than better. Let's take about the last 2 calls and we call it a night. So, ladies and gentlemen, the more you resent your fathers, the more you suffer. Take that from me. The more you resent your fathers, you see, it doesn't matter what your father and your mother did. That's their business. They dragged you into that hell because they hated you. Okay? So it's none of your business to go and fix them. You just fix yourself and them, let them just suffer in their own hell until they get to the rock bottom where they decide, hey, God, I want you to take over. They'll go and forgive those people who actually messed them up, and that's their parents. Okay? Yes, this is who? This is Livy Fitness.
Yes, good evening to you, Dr.
All is well. How are you?
I'm fine, Dr. And you?
All is well. How did you know you're fine?
Yeah?
How did you know you're fine?
Sorry, I'm supposed to say all is well.
Amazing. Take me through your story, sir.
I have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
I have 2 questions. First of all, my first question is, how did your 56 hours of fasting work?
Mm-hmm.
And secondly,
Yeah.
what level of testosterone should a man have?
First question, how did my 56 hours of fasting work? I wasn't doing a 56 hour, I was doing a 72 hour, and then I went to the gym at the 56th hour. So it was so tremendous. There was super energy. I lifted heavy and I showed that because I actually took videos and I made a video about it and it's on my YouTube channel. So I did it and it was just amazing. I didn't know I was getting so much energy from just fasting and burning fat. than getting it from what I'm eating. So it was tremendous. So people should actually fast and go to train, because fasted exercises are the best, and you get to pull out the best out of yourself. That is one. Number two, what was the second question?
What level of testosterone should a man have? The amount of testosterone level.
You don't need to care about the amount of testosterone. You only need to care about how to boost it so that you can actually maintain it. Okay. And this will manifest if you have about 5 to 8 erections in a day or so. Basically 4 to 8 erections in a day. So you'll have an erection in the morning wood. You'll have an erection at around 11. You'll have another one at around 2. You'll have another one in the evening, and possibly in the night when you're going to sleep. Hello?
Okay.
So you don't have to care about the figures. Thank you so much. You don't have to care about the figures, because the figures is science. Science is intellect. Intellect is not common sense. So common sense will tell you that if you wake up with a morning erection, that is testosterone. When you start doing masculine things, learning new skills that are masculine in nature, that is testosterone. When you pound the arm to satisfaction and your woman does not complain, that is testosterone. When you retain your semen, you're boosting testosterone. When you fast and you go to the gym, you are boosting testosterone. So you focus on what you need to do to have enough testosterone as a man. You don't focus on the figures, okay?
Okay.
Amazing. Karibu bro, karibu sana. Asante. Welcome. Amazing. So yes, when you start focusing on the charts, you lose the point, because you'll constantly be checking the testosterone levels. No. You focus on the gym. Do everything that is going to make sure that your testosterone is boosted. Go to the gym, eat healthy, fast. Take cold showers, okay? Yeah, and then be involved in masculine activities. Not go and gossip, because gossip can actually lower testosterone very, very, very fast. And so many of you have requested to be here, and we're calling it a night. It's about 1 hour, 52 minutes gone already. We have another Friday, we can do this again. Yes, who is this? Koi. Is it Koi or Kui? Hello, how are you?
Yes. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
All is well.
Okay, all is well too on my side. So, for me, Daktari, I don't know, but I don't know where. I know you've been talking about how we can get identities from our parents, but how do I do that with my dad?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there was a time I was very rebellious to him.
Okay. Why?
When I was in high school.
Why?
Because he used to beat my mom a lot.
Do you witness that?
Yes, most of the time he used to sleep in the farm when he's beating her.
Okay. So you saw it with your own eyes?
Yes, we used to run away with my mom. Exactly, and I took my mom to hospital most of the time.
Okay, and then continue.
And and then when I was in Form 3, they left us, they separated.
Yes.
And they left me to look after my siblings.
Okay.
I never went to school for Form 3. And now when they came back after 1 year,
mm-hmm.
they expected me to cope with everything. And when they came back, they were together again.
Mm.
And then my dad said that according to what people in the village were telling him, I was doing prostitution.
Okay.
And I remember I asked him, you were asking me that I'm doing prostitution, where were you?
Okay, yeah.
And so when we left, he rented a house and we went and we stayed there, but I never performed well in Form 4 because I never went back to Form 3. I went directly to Form 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I told him I want to go to college, he said he cannot take an illiterate person to school.
Amazing.
And I was asking my mom, what are you saying about all this? And she told me, that's upon you and your dad to talk. And I was almost asking her because there was a time they used to fight a lot, and my mom would say, I wonder why God gave me this kid, and she's just a curse.
Yep. Your mother saw your father in you.
Yeah, and another thing, my mom messed up my mind until now because when we used to walk on the road, she used to tell me, why are you coming so close to me? You are so big. Get away from me.
Oops, that was your mother?
Yes, my mom.
Wow.
Yeah, and she could tell me like, I wish you were beautiful like my family. If you
Ooh.
were beautiful like me, I don't know where you would be walking.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that brought my self-esteem so down.
Yeah.
And until recently, I realized that my self-esteem is so down. No matter how much I try working on it, it's so down. I don't know what to do. And by in 2019, my mom fell sick and she passed away. And when she was sick for a period of 1 year, she was in the hospital. And I saw my dad was having like other women, and we are sleeping in the hospital, and he cannot come to look at my mom. And so it was like, I don't know why, but I felt like when my mom died, it was like a relief for him. But I never asked him. After the death of my mom, I went to NYS. So the NYS pays school fees for people. So I went to college, and when I finished, I told my dad, I need to go back to school. You need to pay for me now. And he said, it's okay. So what happened is he paid the first semester, and then the second semester, he said he don't have money. And I asked him, where do you expect me to get the money? Okay, he has always said that I always intimidate him. And he took care of my siblings more than me. My sister was studying in Mombasa in college, and for me to access my dad's money, I had to leave my sister to tell her to ask my dad to send me money for food.
Yeah.
And then I felt like that was too much, because I could call him even for 2 weeks. He's not picking my calls. I don't have rent. I don't have food. I'm sent out of school because of school fees and stuff. So it was so tiring, and I saw like I can't stay here. I started looking for ways to leave the country, and God willing, I found a way and I left. But I just told him that I'm leaving, like when my flight is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I left Kenya, and that was it. And until now, we don't talk.
With your father?
I just send him money. He calls me when he needs money, and that's it. We don't talk.
So-
sometime back, I tried to write him a message telling him how I miss him and I love him. And after I sent the message, and I was expecting something, and he just sent, okay, God is good. That's all.
But of course, that message was not sent from a center of love, because we don't love people. We can't. We don't have that ability to love people. It's God who loves people through us. So the reason why you send that message is because you wanted some validation from him, just because you're doing well now. So you thought, oh, I should mend this relationship, and you expected things from him. You see, by virtue of you expecting something from him, it already showed it wasn't love. It was the devil trying to control you through your own thoughts and imaginations. But all the same, the worst thing that every parent can do to their children is to actually separate. The worst thing that you can do to your children is to separate and leave a marriage, because these children deserve to be raised by both parents, and there should be order, okay? It just should be order. So the reason why they came back, that is none of our business. That is their business. They were using each other because of their evil nature, and that was just okay. But you got dragged into this nonsense. They are nonsense. And the problem is, you left the country. Your mother died without you forgiving her, and because she was so evil, and she would talk these bad things to you because she hated you, because she saw your father in you. So she hated your father, but she transferred that hatred to you, and she wanted you to hate your father, but she could not control you. So when she saw that, she started hating you for no good reason. That's why she said all these bad things to you. But that is not your problem. You forgive her, you move. She died without you forgiving her, that is okay. But this father of yours, who is a weak male, who was just interested in sex and was manipulating your mother, is the one who actually brought all these problems. His weaknesses are the ones that brought these problems. Therefore, whether you like it or not, you'll have to face your father and forgive him, so that you take your identity from him. He's the one who is actually carrying your identity, and he's misusing it. So whatever happened is none of your business. It's in your head right now. It is the past. Don't focus on the past. Call your father and tell your father, hey, I am sorry that I've been resenting you for no good reason. I apologize. Now, as you call your father, do not call him to expect anything, because the expectations that you have are the ones that will break you down. Do not expect anything from him. I repeat, whether he says negative things or he says positive things, do not be excited and do not be disappointed. Just call him to get your own identity from him. Once you've told him, hey, Dad, I've been resenting you for no good reason and I apologize, give him some time to respond. And then now you can hang up the call. And then when you do that, God will take that voidness out of you. He will fill you with an identity. He will reveal things through that identity. You will know if it's right to send your father money, because again, your father does not need your money. He needs you there as the daughter. And I've said this before, that our parents don't need our money. They can make money on their own. They need us to be there for them, not to give them money. So yes, even if you're working outside and you do not inform him, you need his blessing. So you must come and check out on him, visit him, talk to him, build that relationship. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be your friend anymore. You simply build that to reconnect your soul with the soul of your biological father. And that is how you return back to the father. You die off the spirit of evil, you resurrect in light, and you will see light. But you see, you ran away outside the country, but you did not leave the evil spirit here. You carried it there. That same evil spirit, you ran with it. Ulienda nayo kwa roho. And now it is controlling you, trying to tell you, oh, you know what? Call him, text him. And as you text him, please expect him to say something good. If you say something bad, get upset. And you see now, you've gotten upset all along. But has it fixed your problems?
No.
It has not. You've even run away from the country. But has it fixed the problem that you have inside you?
No.
It has not, because the world, the real world, your world is inside you. It's not what is happening around you. And you keep running because you're thinking whatever is happening outside you is what is going to dictate how you live your life. Don't allow that. Okay? Yeah, so fix the inside. When you fix the inside, you have this perfect peace and your life opens up to new opportunities. You will not need to run, because even if you're running with that evil spirit inside you. So you're just carrying it there, and then you get there and then your miseries are the same. You've went out of the country, you've tried to make some money, but you're constantly compensating because you're constantly thinking, because I did not go to school, I'm now inadequate, because I did not do this, I deserve this type of job. You're thinking all these things, and all these things are material things. But what does God say? He says, seek ye first, and the rest shall be added unto you. And how do you seek him? You must forgive those that you resent, that are actually in the path of you and God. So you forgive your father and your mother, and now that your mother is dead, you simply forgive your father and then make a silent prayer. Stick in prayer. Keep meditating. And do not expect anything from your father anytime. Do you have a child?
No.
Amazing. How old are you?
I'm turning 28 in December.
Would you want to be married?
Yeah.
Would you want a child? Would you want your son to lack a father the same way you lacked your father?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So if you want that life for your children and for you, you actually have to fix you, and then through that you fix others. So fix yourself, and then your children will live a very healthy life, because through that you'll know how to take care of them, and you'll teach them about God and forgiveness. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. But I have another question. Can all that be surrounded by? Can it cause a problem to my relationships?
The people that you attract.
Yes.
Yes, it does, because you see, from inside you don't have an identity, so you'll not attract somebody who you want. You'll attract somebody who will manipulate you. You see, inside you have an identity of your mother and your father. So you'll end up attracting men who are very feminine, and you'll end up breaking up in those relationships. They'll be very abusive, because your father is the one who is actually inside you. Your father was abusive to your mother, you saw that. So you're running away from that. You'll end up attracting a worst one. They will beat you up, they'll abuse you emotionally, they will not provide, they'll expect you go to work and provide for them.
Okay.
You understand me? So if you want your relationship to be better, that's why I told you about your children, because those are relationships. If you want your children to be better, if you want to attract somebody who has an identity, who understands the order of God, that men provide for women and women take care of men's children, and children are below women. So God above men, men above women, and women above children. That is the order of life. So if you will get to understand that only and only if you get your own identity from your father.
Okay, Doc.
Yeah, good. And I wish you well. Karibu sana. I wish you well. Yeah, amazing stories. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Hawezi, you can't. Somebody was asking, out of topic, is it okay for ketones and proteins to be present in urine during fasting after 48 hours? Ketones, yes. Protein, no. Protein in urine is proteinuria. That is a symptom of maybe acute kidney injury. And of course, fasting can be actually detrimental to your kidneys if you do not hydrate adequately. But ketone is urine, that is perfect, because when you get to 36 hours and above, you are in the ketosis stage. And the ketotic stage, you are producing ketone bodies that actually leave your body through urine. So that is okay. Doc, my mom got me when she was in college. Later, she got married, but my stepdad died when I was still young. I don't know my biological dad. How do I go about seeking my identity? Thank you so much, Catherine Mudoni. Now, one, ask your mother about your biological father. Okay, ask her. She will keep on running away from it, but be serious about it. Ask her. If she's resistant about it, forgive her. Tell her that I've belonged from my father and you've constantly blocked me from seeing him, and I forgive you. And I want you to forgive me for resenting you for no good reason, because when she blocks you from seeing your biological father, you start to resent her. So tell her that you've forgiven her, and ask her to forgive you for resenting her for no good reason. And then stick in prayer. Is that simple? Okay? Is that simple? If you do that, you'll get your identity, because you see, she's the one who is standing between you and your identity, and your identity is from your father. So when you overcome her, you are good to go. This is deep and extremely meaningful. Asante sana Doc Baraka Tele. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you. I appreciate that. Who else? Amazing. Let's take the last call and call tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesday, from Tuesday, we are in Nairobi. We are going for the physical consultations in Nairobi, and this is what we do best. Counseling is there. All these health issues are there. We raise them there. So on Tuesday, or the following week on Thursday, we'll be in Nairobi for the physical consultations. Be there, attend them. Book your consultations through the contact that Mickey posts all the time, that I post on my videos. I will also make this advertisement on my platforms tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So 0707074722, that is our office contact. Use that contact to book your appointments for both online and physical consultations. But our physical consultations, I insist, they are going to start from 28th or 29th? On Tuesday, I think it's 28th. Let me just check that. On 29th. So from 29th all the way to the 7th of November, we will be in Nairobi attending to you. So kindly book your appointments through that contact so that we can actually attend to you. I will put this on all my platforms. I have a YouTube platform called Health and Wellness Sport. Please go and subscribe. I have a Telegram channel called Health and Wellness Sport. Please join those people. I also have a platform on Facebook called Lewis Muchile. It shall be interesting. So yes, use that contact to book your appointments, and then let's see how we can change your life for the better. Thank you so much for those of you who liked the live. Thank you for those who shared it. Thank you for all of you who have stopped sleeping and you've been here for the last 2 hours and 7 minutes. We are taking the last call and then we call it a night. I have never had such teachings here on TikTok or somewhere else. Thank you very, very much. This is who? This is Selfmade. Jay Selfmade. Thank you so much, Jay. You're welcome. That's what we do here. We fix identities on Identity Fridays, okay? And this is just interesting. So yeah, thank you for that. So I'll take Gatimi and then I'll take Winnie and then we call it a night. Waibara, thank you for gifting us. Man above women. I know some human activists can agree with that. Yes, they can't agree, Paul, but you see, that's the reality. Whether they agree or not, they are being controlled by the spirit that is living inside them, and that's the spirit of evil. So God above men, men above women, women above children. That's the order of life. When you distort that order, human beings start to suffer. Katimi.
Doc.
How are you?
How are you?
All is well.
All is well.
Talk to me.
All is well. But you've hung on TikTok. I can only hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I don't know what is happening. I've seen that. I'm hanging there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, I don't know.
It's been an amazing...
What is happening here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, let's continue. As long as you can hear my voice, no problem. People can move to YouTube and we finish this there.
Yeah.
You frozen dog. How did I freeze this?
So true.
I don't know how I froze it. Anyway, we can continue. Let's continue, Gatimi. How are you?
Yeah, all is well.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I have, I agree with lots of what you've said, but I only have one question about the father. A father can be present, but he's not safe.
What do you mean?
Because even him, he's dealing with his childhood trauma and the things that happened in the past that has never are not fixed yet. And so he's also bleeding on the children, on the wife and on the children.
Okay. But you see,
Yeah.
you see, it's the role of the fathers to fix everything. Like fathers are supposed to know God before they get married. That's why they are the ones who marry. They decide when to get married and when to marry, okay? They don't get married. They decide when to marry. So the reality is, a father, any man, before they get to marry, they must know God. Because most men or males, they know about God because they've heard about him, they've been taught about him, they know about him through religion and school, but they don't know God because they've never forgiven their mothers, they've never forgiven their fathers. So they end up attracting women who can provide because they don't know how to provide. They end up having this fear of their mothers because inside their hearts they are unable to face women. They are unable to correct women because they don't know how. They fear women. They hate women because they hate their mothers. So for them to actually get to lead women, they must forgive their mothers and overcome their mothers.
What if they are not able to? Like, you're in your late 50s, you haven't forgiven your mother, you haven't forgiven your father, your siblings, and there's a trail of people who have just done you wrong, and now you're now bleeding on your wife and on your children.
But you know, Gatimi,
I'm talking about, yeah?
Do you know nobody can do wrong to you? Everybody's just living their own life.
You're projecting, exactly, but it's very sad when you're dealing with children who are depending on you or looking up to you for direction, for love, for protection, for security. But those are the children you are actually hurting.
But you see, you will hurt other people because you're of the nature of evil. So until you get to fix you will constantly hurt other people. But I also think...
So what happens to these children before this person is fixed? Because these children are still growing up. And the person, I'm giving an example of something that happened on Monday. And the father is telling the children, if you go to see your mother, don't come back here.
But you see, we attract who we are. Oh. My live on TikTok has just been... My live on TikTok has just been brought down. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, I wish we would have finished that conversation. All the same. Oof. That is interesting. Why though? Anyway, that's amazing. So, let me read the last comment on YouTube as we disappear. Doc, I am raised by a single mother since 5 years. I have anger issues. Sometimes it's because I am raised by a single mother. Sometimes. Is it because I was raised by a single mother? The truth is yes, because your mother remolded you into her own image and you became just like her. You resent her, you hate her, but you cannot do anything about it because you don't even know. So realize this, that every child inside them, they long for their fathers. And because they long for their fathers, mothers know this, and mothers want that attention too. So they turn their children against their mothers, against their fathers, and now these children start to suffer. And when that happens, that becomes a serious problem. So therefore, if you want to recover from this, the only thing you need to do is to forgive your mother, and then start by asking her, okay? Start by asking her, where is your biological father? Ask her, where is my biological father? If she doesn't answer you, simply forgive her. Tell her, hey, I have been resenting you for no good reason, and I apologize. Once you do that, you get her off your identity path, and you get your own path. If she tells you where your father is, find your father. Go and reconnect with your father. Once you do that, you become a better human, and your identity is fixed, and God shall give you all that you demand or all that you want. And until then, it shall be troubles after troubles. And you see, because you're raised by a single mother, you'll end up becoming a single mother at an earlier age than she became a single mother. So for you to actually make sure that you don't become a single mother just like her and you end up hurting your children, simply forgive her and ask her to forgive you for resenting her for no good reason, and you'll have your identity back. Good. How about fathers who left their sons behind? Is there any point of looking for them? Yes. You're not looking for your father to earn validation from him. No. You're looking for your father so that you can get your identity from him. Because it's the same thing when somebody steals your phones and starts to run away. I chase him and I pick my phone back, and then he starts abusing me, telling me, oh, you know what, wewe daktari unakimbiza simu ya 20,000 na wewe unaweza nunua simu ingine. I don't care about what he's saying. I care about having my phone back, and that's it. So fathers who ran away, they were weak, and that's why they made women angry. And I told you, at this moment in time, we have fathers who or husbands who are so weak and they're effeminate, and we have mothers who are so angry and women who are angry at these men. So they end up directing this anger to the children. So what you need to do, if your father ran away, that was his own problem. You don't know what happened, okay? Unless you ask him. So you must find him. You forgive your mother and then you find your father, forgive him. That's the only way you get your identity, because identity means going back to the father or going back to the creator. And because the earthly creator for any child is the biological father, you must go back to him. And that's why even God says, you can't claim to love ye who you don't see. Yet there's this one here who you see and you don't love them. So you must find your biological father and forgive them. People on TikTok, I'm sorry, it dropped off. I don't know what happened. It just logged out. How about father? Okay, that's one I've answered. What do you do if a lady walks away with your son, cuts you off, and raises him with a new man? That is none of your business, sir. If a lady leaves you, tell him, asante sana kukundoka, thank you so much, we shall see you in future. But remind her that you forgive her, okay? So that you don't let her destroy your children. And the worst thing women can do is to get remarried to a man, yet this son is still there. Remember, women don't know how to love a man. They respect and submit to a man. So they are going there chasing a thrill of love because they feel empty inside them. They are thinking that this new man is going to give them a different thrill and a form of completion inside them. Yet the void is not coming out. It's coming from inside them. They long for their fathers. And that's why they are misbehaving. So they need to go back and forgive their fathers so that that void is filled. And until then, no man will satisfy them. No man will be comfortable for them. They'll jump into one relationship from one to another, thinking that this relationship will make them comfortable and will make them complete. And they will end up suffering. So if she lives with the children, do not think that you are this good father, you have to stick and hold on to your children. No, they are not even your children. They are God's children. You're just a caretaker. Let them go. Okay? But remind them that you forgive them. And remind them to forgive you. Just tell them to forgive you for resenting them. Okay? And then you're free now. When you're free, you'll be able to know how to take care of your children even when they are far. The worst thing a man can do is to remarry when he has a child with another woman. Because when you do that, you deny your children attention. You hate your children so much. And most women hate their children so much. And that's why they end up getting so quick into a new relationship. And that's what is happening all through. You just see, this is the new man, the next new. This is the new man, the next new man, the next new. They are suffering. They are thinking that relationships are going to make them comfortable. Yet the emptiness, the hollowness is inside their hearts. So the devil is trying to control them. Amazing identity insights. Indeed, we must let God. Asante. Nerima, let go, let God. Is that simple? God bless you, my favorite dog. This is Nzembi Queen. All around health and wellness. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good night, doctor. Good night. As a mother, what can I do to make it better to nurture my children in finding their identities? Now, the best way to take care of children is to fix you. The best way to fix others is by fixing you. So you must get your own identity through what I've said. Once you get identity, everything will be revealed to you. Okay, so you will not impose your identity in your children. Everything shall be revealed through your that identity, the one that you've been given, and through that you'll be able to raise those children in appropriate ways, a God-fearing manner for that for that matter. Good. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I hope that you can use that contact to book your appointment for the physical consultations. Today is Friday. We are taking a break. Possibly we can be back next week on Tuesday with the Identity Fridays. That will be in Nairobi. We can also do on Wednesday and Friday if God gives us the grace. But we live now. We don't live in the future. So thank you so much, every one of you, for taking your time to attend this live. I hope it has impacted you. You can rewatch it again tomorrow if you did not get it clearly, so that you know why we do Identity Fridays. You've heard those stories. Very interesting stories. Very touching stories. I'm touched, actually. But because I have an identity, I feel emotionless a little bit, but that's how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be emotionless so that I can actually help you handle your own emotions. So thank you for being here for the last 2 hours, 19 minutes. Share this live on your platforms. Change your life of people around you, and let's get better together, okay? This is the home of healthcare. This is Health and Wellness Spot, and this is Dr. Lewis Muchile Obunde, your favorite doctor. And I hope to see you next week for the physical consultations. Thank you so much and have a good night from wherever you're watching us from. Goodbye.